Nathaniel Hackett, coach of the team, addressing reporters earlier this week on the team's offensive struggles and, more importantly, the status of quarterback Russell Wilson with that shoulder injury that's got the muscle tear in the lat like the Dak Prescott injury from training camp of 2021. His status for Monday Night Football also addressed by Hackett. Here he is.
Negative plays. I think that's been kind of one of our nemesises. We've been really good in some explosive passes down the field. I think we're pretty high up there in the league, and we have some really good explosives. We're really feast or famine, and it's in the red zone, and it's in the middle of the field. The amount of get back on tracks we have is just too difficult. We need to be way more efficient on first down, getting positive yards, and even just incompletions instead of sacks or penalties. So I think those are the things that we're focusing on, trying to narrow down the things that we want to be great at, and then continually develop in those.
Where does it stand with Russ? Is he going to be able to play, or where does it stand with him and his shoulder right now?
Yes, no, he should be ready to play.
He flew to L.A. on Friday for a platelet-rich plasma injection to try to heal the shoulder.
Right.
And look, it felt like excuse-making. Maybe he really did need it. But the way that it was presented to the media
exactly right.
At a time when it was open season on Russ. And I had a problem with that. We haven't had a chance to talk about the Thursday night game because only one of us works on Friday.
That's right.
But I had a problem with all the people who have known that Russ is kind of a phony. It's kind of contrived. It's kind of manipulated, and that's fine.
I mean, is it?
When he's winning.
Is it manipulated?
No, my point is, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I know. He's a dork. He's a nerd.
He's got this image, but he's got this image practicing press conferences when he was 7 years old. Like, are you really getting the true guy, or are you getting what he thinks he should be?
Yeah.
Not who he is, but how he believes he should present himself. So there has been a question of whether or not he's truly authentic. My point is, why do you wait until he sucks to bring it up?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like,
it's piling on.
I got issues with Aaron Rodgers. I don't wait until his career starts to crumble to say, well, that guy's been an ass all along.
Right.
I'm willing to say he's an ass.
You did it last year in the middle of an MVP season, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So my point is, and I just didn't like, I'm not going to name names. I didn't like this. Well, now Russ sucks, so we're going to talk about what an ass he's been all these years and how, he snubs people and he's a phony and he's a big shot and he's this and he's that. Why don't you say it when he's good? Say it when he's good. Don't wait until he's bad. If you got a problem with the guy, say it when he's good. That was what I had an issue with. But he was horrible on Thursday night. He was booed more, I would say, in that one game than he's ever been booed in his life combined.
Yeah.
And this whole shoulder thing just felt like a, hey, give me a break here. I'm playing through an injury that's so bad I had to fly to L.A. to get some kind of funky treatment in the hopes of being able to keep playing.
Sure. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it did seem that way. And I don't, it did seem like, I know, I'm not saying there's not a legit problem, but it seemed like it was released right in the time when, man, people are on me a lot. Let me call Jimmy Fallon and tell him I got a shoulder injury, or I'm having fun with our contract talk there. But
that's absolutely right on the money.
Right.
Like Jimmy Fallon, you want to be the highest paid player in football? Like Jimmy Fallon knows who the highest paid player in football is, or cares. But yeah, there's that element of it all being contrived.
Yes.
Of it all being. That's why I said manipulated. It's all and it fits with the narrative that people decided to start hitting on Friday because he sucks now. It's okay to talk about these things when somebody's playing well.
Yeah.
And it feels to me like it's phony.
Right.
It's hard for me to not feel that way.
It's getting personal a little bit now. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's personal. I mean, we got one guy whose feelings were hurt because he didn't get dapped up at an award show. Okay?
Right.
Like, I mean, again, Russell Wilson, the one thing I can say is he's not impolite or mean to anybody because he cares what everybody thinks, right, Mike?
Right.
So he wouldn't do that deliberately or try to be mean. All right, and that's so. But we have people now piling on because of that, and he didn't play well, which I think is unfair. And of course, ex-teammates that pile on him too. And yeah, he's not playing well. Mike, I broke this down last week during my pod on a Wednesday before the Thursday night game. Did some videos on it. I think you might have seen one or two on social media, just because, he's not playing well, and he's not seeing the field well. And if it's not, I think we discussed this a little bit on the podcast, before the game on Thursday. If it's not a one-on-one shot or the first read just wide open, there's just no telling where the ball is going to go with Russell Wilson right now. He's got a little bit of an aspect of, wait, the first read's not there. Oh, gosh, let me look around and scramble and then just throw a short pass and kind of work like that right now. He's got a little bit of an element like that. Or just bad, feel in the pocket where plays I look at and go, wait, why are you leaving the pocket? It's good here. Or just pat the ball an extra time and the 20-yard curl is going to be open there on 3rd and 8. And there's that right now where it's a little bit all over the place. There's always been reluctancy to throw the ball down the middle of the field. I think they're slowly orchestrating ways out of that. But yeah, there's too much just looking for the one-on-one shot right now instead of playing system quarterback football. And he's leaving plays and completions and yards on the field, just like we saw with the last play of the game, right? He just, I don't know, for whatever reason, made up his mind he wasn't going to work over there to KJ Hamler. And, it was a walk-in touchdown to what KJ Hamler was talking about. We even showed a group of plays that we just showed a minute ago where he throws a fade down the left sideline. The concept on the right's open. Here you go. Look at the top of the screen. I don't know what you could be thinking here. It's like he made up his mind that I'm going to throw to Courtland Sutton because he's my best receiver, and I'm just going to go there. I'm going to go to the one-on-one guy instead of going, wait, the play, the way I was taught, the look I got right here tells me to look at this side first, and then I come back to Courtland Sutton if I see nothing. And that's what I would be doing, too, if I was KJ Hamler, because he lost the opportunity to be the star of the game. But there's a lot of that going through the last 3 or 4 weeks, Mike.
And here's the other side of my shoulder is in such a bad spot, I have to fly to L.A. the next day to get a platelet-rich plasma injection.
Right.
Why is Nathaniel Hackett, why is he putting the ball in his hands in that spot then, 4th and 1? Doesn't Hackett know the shoulder's messed up? You got 4th and 1 from the 5 in overtime where a field goal extends the game and maybe leads to a tie. Touchdown wins it. Why are you in shotgun formation? Why? There was a play the Packers had against the Giants on Sunday where they're down at the goal line and they do a little, you line up under center, fake a handoff, fake a second when guys wide open. Do something creative like that. Make the Colts wonder whether or not you're going to run the ball, or maybe just run the ball, as Richard Sherman shouted into his microphone multiple times on the postgame show on Thursday night.
Well, first off, I didn't
same thing at the end of regulation.
Yeah.
At the end of regulation, same thing. Why not run the ball 3rd and 4 up 3 with 2:19 to play and try to get the first down instead of throwing the ball to the end zone and letting it be picked off and setting the stage for the Colts to tie the game and force overtime in the first place? Why are you trusting the guy if his shoulder's that messed up? That's my point.
Yeah, I hear you. Because, one, the shoulder's not that bad. We know that, to your point here. He's going to play Thursday. There's no doubt about it. There's never been even a question about it. So this is one of those where you'd like to see the player just not bring it up. It seems like his agent or somebody close to him made sure this was out in the media. That's where Russell Wilson can frustrate people. That's where people pile on because of that. Where you just go, wait, you're fine, you're going to play. Hey, you're banged up, so are a lot of people in football. This is one you'd like to see go to the school of Matthew Stafford quarterbacking. Suck it up, and somebody will find out within the next month or so, and then they'll be, hey, Russell's been playing banged up. Right? That's what Matthew Stafford does. That's what a bunch of quarterbacks in football do.
Well, with Stafford, we may never find out.
Never know. Or Brady playing with a bad knee the year they're going to the Super Bowl. You'll never find out. Didn't make an excuse. Just kept playing. He knew it would get out. People would be, get it out there, and he'd look right when all's said and done. But so Hackett, he calls those plays because there's nothing dramatically wrong with his throwing. He's got enough power, and you don't see an issue. You don't see him, grimacing or anything like that. Now, the other thing, too, is I don't like people bagging on Russell Wilson, though, for run the ball. That's the other thing. Like he's calling the plays. That's one where, no, that's Nathaniel Hackett's, fault there. Let's not put everything on Russell here. It's like the Carson Wentz piling on here. Now we're just going to blame him for everything. Yeah, he hasn't been good. I've been here saying that. It's been bad. But we can't put every issue of the football team on him, and some of these things he can't control. He didn't control the end of the game management in the 4th quarter against Seattle, right? And he didn't control how these plays were called here. Now, I think his influence, because they want to make the Russell Wilson thing work and look so good, influences them to, let's maybe throw a touchdown pass and have Russell win the game in the fourth quarter or, in overtime or whatever there. I do think that influence pressures Nathaniel Hackett, but I'm not going to blame Russell there for that one.
Well, and I think you're right, and this is the problem that teams get into. They feel like they have to justify the big moves they've made.
Right.
So we've spent all this money. We gave up those draft picks. He's the centerpiece of the team. Why wouldn't we be letting him decide the outcome of this game? When in reality, part of the challenge, and this gets back to the Steelers, different concept, but maybe you should just do what works.
Right. Or like the Dallas
the thing that
Cowboys.
you feel like you have to do.
Right. Yeah, it's like the Dallas Cowboy conversation. If Dak Prescott was throwing for less than 200 yards a game like Cooper Rush, we'd all be going, wait, what's the problem here? But because they're paying him $45 million a year, to your point, that's not what we expect, and that's not how they call the game when he's in there. So hopefully they change. But, yeah, I think we're on the same page here. Russell's not been good. It's been bad. And he is not playing quarterback well. And, I'm a Russell Wilson fan. He's consistently been in the Chris Simms top 10 quarterbacks for a long time. He's not playing like a top 10 quarterback right now. There's no doubt about it.
He was as high as number 3 one year.
He's been up there. There's no doubt. But right now it is outside of the top 10 type of football. Like I said, we can blame Nathaniel Hackett for some of these issues, but man, I've watched them every week on film and come away every week going, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he didn't throw to that guy. I'm not sure where he's looking here. And there's just too much of that for a guy that's as talented as he is and as good as he's been throughout his career.
We've got 4 more Russell Wilson and the Broncos standalone games over the balance of the season.
Holy
Monday
crap.
night against the Chargers. There's a Sunday morning. It's only on ESPN Plus against the Jaguars coming up later this month. There's a Sunday night game, Chiefs-Broncos, later in the year, subject to the flex. But as someone said to me, they're not going to flex Patrick Mahomes out of primetime. And those are all NFL decisions, not NBC decisions. And then Christmas Day, Broncos-Rams. Boy, that game is losing luster by the second with both teams at 2 and 3. We'll watch it because it's Christmas, it's on TV, and what else are we going to do? Interact with family. So it'll be something to enjoy, but it may not be as enjoyable as we thought, and it may be enjoyable for other reasons. Because, Chris, we got to take a break, but that Thursday night game, my son and I were talking about this when we were watching the Chiefs-Raiders game, which was obviously far more exciting. With more points.
Just a little bit.
What Al Michaels said in the third quarter, and I loved his willingness to call it what it was.
Right.
Sometimes it's so bad it is kind of good.
Yeah, it was.
After putting in 3.5 hours, we at least got exciting finish.
Yeah.
After all that time we invested, we got an exciting, here it is, make the player go home, and it was dragged out with a couple of timeouts. So we had like 5 minutes of true excitement on the back end of this crap game.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And, it was the 2 quarterbacks that were supposed to save the franchises. And one of them where you go, wait, he's got some talent around him and he's pass protected and he's not making it happen in Russell Wilson. And Matt Ryan, where I think I knew he threw a dumb interception in the football game. He threw 2 of them, but one was really dumb. But nonetheless, there was another guy where they couldn't run the ball, they couldn't protect him, they were being totally dominated, and he kind of kept his team in the game. And how many times did he hang in the pocket and people are hitting him and he's done? I mean, I give him a lot of credit, even though he's not playing his best either. He made the most, out of chicken SH, what. And of course, Russell's not doing that right now, and that's where the difference of that football game was for sure.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.